West Coast, Pacific time. It's your time. It is 40 minutes till midnight, and the East Coast just called from the future and said things are so much better in 2021. So great. So chill out, catch a gnarly wave, and no more gender reveal parties. Start the show.
In a cabin going crazy, 'cause a flu that's worse than swine swept the planet, so damn it, here we are in quarantine.
Hello, and welcome to the Virtual Comedy Show 2020 Hindsight Edition. Here are some etiquette guidelines for Virtual Comedy Show. Please keep your mic on, but please be quiet, except for laughing. We want to hear jokes, then laughs, then jokes, then laughs. No talking, please. We've been a Zoom meeting civilization for 9 months. You know the drill. Just be polite, okay? We would like to see your face as part of the audience. Let's be social, not just distant. So get comfortable, plan to laugh, but not heckle, and let's make our strange quarantine world a bit more normal for a little while. Thanks, and enjoy the Virtual Comedy Show.
Happy New Year, and welcome to the Virtual Comedy Show New Year's Eve 2020 Hindsight Extravaganza times 4. We're so happy that you've decided to join us as we ring in the new year for every time zone in the US of A with music, comedy, special guests, interviews, trivia, giveaways, prizes, and a great look back at the parts of 2020 we actually liked, and so much more. Your hosts Brad Tassell and Steve Goodie, along with the delightful Patti Vasquez, invite you to laugh along with their guests Gary Aberthnot, Lauren Mayer, Joel Madison, Carla Ulbrich, Lori Hamilton, and lots of fun surprises. All 4 hours will be different, so hunker down and ring in 2021 4 times in a row with the Virtual Comedy Show. Let's make sure 2020 really goes away. And now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Tassell, and this is the hour when we regret doing this.
I don't, not for a minute.
You don't regret? I don't regret. I think that's great. I want to check on Alice has fallen out of her chair now, Steve.
She's fine,
I hope.
She's fine.
She's fine. You keep saying that. But,
I saw her moving a minute ago.
Oh, did you see her moving?
Fine.
Okay, good.
She was moving.
Well, that's great.
Plus, the ambulance just got there. Everything's fine.
The ambulance just got there. Great. As long as it's not COVID, we're good. So welcome, everybody on the West Coast. I'm Brad Tassell. And I was sitting during the break contemplating about what I used to do for a living, which was do comedy on cruise ships. And I used to walk around the cruise ship. I did 18 years, almost 17 years working cruise ships mostly. And I would marvel every time I was still there. Because I got fired a lot from other cruise lines for jokes like I got fired from Oceania. I was doing a show one time, and it was a lot of 90-year-olds, and I was doing the show, and it was in a beautiful theater because these are the most beautiful ships, Oceania, and there was a 90-some-year-old man sitting right up front, him and his walker right up front, and I did this joke, and it's the dirtiest joke I ever did on an Oceania cruise ship, and it was the fact that I talk about having kids and that I think being a father is the most important thing you can do in your life. And that when you have kids as a man, as a father, you have to learn things you never knew you'd have to learn. And the whole crowd is just clapping. I said, it is so beautiful. I learned in the first year of having a baby, a breast pump will not enlarge any part of your body. Well, at that exact moment, the 90-year-old man up front, and I brought a chair in to do this so you could see me, he went, "Nope, nope, no." And he stood up real slow and he grabbed his walker and he goes, "I am not listening to this pathetic, dirty garbage." And it took him 8 minutes to get out of the room. And I just stood there and the entire crowd was just trying to hold back from laughing so loud. And he just, "Hey, I'm going to call the captain, and I'm going to call the cruise line." And when he left the room, all I said was, "But Dad, it wasn't my fault." And I was not actually fired on that one. I was fired for a different joke, actually. But I don't know. I hope I get to go back some. I don't want to go back a ton. We were talking about traveling last hour. I love the groups that I see on these ships. I was on a ship out of Texas, and Alice, you're fine. How are you? You doing good? Okay, good. You got a little snooze there, and I feel good for you.
Yes,
So,
I did.
Alice, have you ever been on a cruise?
No, I have not.
Well, I really do enjoy it. I enjoy the people and the groups. I was on a cruise out of Texas. We had 75 rodeo cowboys on the ship and 80 gynecologists. There were stirrups everywhere.
That's it. I'm not sitting still for this.
I'm
leaving.
I'm not listening to this garbage.
Disgusting.
This dirty, pathetic.
Darn it, I'm going to go see Alice.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Alice.
See Alice? Get it? See Alice?
Yeah, you at this point you might need Cialis. Anyway, and I also one more thing about cruises, then I'll do the jokes I wrote for this show that I don't have a lot of faith in. Not a lot of faith in this show. So and I forgot sometimes though, and we'll see this I think on when we talk to Gary, is the ship gets really rocky, and I was on a ship one time and it went 30 degrees to the side. Whoa. And the entire pool emptied into the ocean. I mean, whoa, right in front of us, the entire pool. And people were literally screaming. You could hear them around the ship. You could see it on TV, just the water flying out of this pool. And I remember the captain came on. It was like, bong, bong, bong. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking from the navigation bridge. The pool is closed. That's how helpful they are on the Carnival. So, and by the way, so now here's the thing. Today, did you all see this? Vaccines are rolling out so slowly, it is going to take 10 years to inoculate enough people to make a difference. Did anybody see that?
No.
That is how slow they're coming out. And in response, Trump said, I hit a 46 on the back nine.
I'll say 46.
A perfect score.
46.
What?
46. 40. I'm
46.
sorry, I'm excited about Biden.
Yeah, we need play. I did that because we need to get to 46. So anyway, by the way, and this isn't necessarily a joke, it's just an observation, but then that's mostly what my jokes are. The problem with the vaccine rollout is that the states are fighting over who's first, who's second, etc., which is just stupid. People want the vaccine. We should give it to people as fast as possible. You know, the first week, of course, was tough because people had to get by the GOP congressmen clawing their way past cancer patients to get theirs. But here's what I say we should have done. The hospitals get the vaccines. The hospital opens at 8 a.m. At 7 a.m., the entire staff of the hospital gets the vaccine. At 8 a.m., anybody in line with a mask 6 feet apart comes through and gets the vaccine, right? I mean, by the way, that is also the same process that they use to get a degree from Trump University. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, by the way, two of the bits that I did this year were some of my favorite. I'm not sure if they were that funny, but they were two of my favorite bits. So, Steve, you want to play those?
I do, and I think they're very funny.
Public service announcement, this show, and this is basically serious. COVID makes you think a lot about how different people react to pathogens and bites and viruses and bacteria. I personally have never really had trouble. I run in the woods every day, basically, and I destroy like 10 spider webs. And whenever I stop, there's at least 3 spiders hanging from me, swinging off my back, saying, "Do another lap, fat boy." I get ticks, and they spit me out and jump off. When I get a mosquito bite, when a mosquito bites me, it lasts maybe 10 minutes, and their babies die. So I never have a problem, and I've always been good. Now, my wife is a different story. She could get chiggers from the Best Buy. So what I want to talk about is my wife was recently trimming a bush, and no, a bush, sicko. Okay, stop with the look. A bush. Okay. And something landed on her leg, and just its presence caused a 3-week bruise. I mean, she has to deal with a lot more. Like, I had a spider crawl in my mouth once and bite my lip, and the swelling was gone before I pooped Charlotte out. So I'm just saying.
Really?
So I rarely get affected. But my wife needs a tetanus shot if she meets a person named Rusty. So, and my daughter might be taking after my wife because she took a research trip to Costa Rica and she got a case of salmonella so badly, the CDC called and asked her if she was craving that. And really one more from me. I had 30 leeches on my leg once after putting in a dock in a lake, and I asked them to leave, and they did. The point is, we are all different, and vulnerable people benefit so much from vaccines and staying safe. I feel like if I brought home COVID, I wouldn't know it until my wife rented a ventilator, so I'm not going to bring it home. So if you're out there listening, stop the conspiracies, listen to real science, wear the mask, get a vaccine when it's ready. Nobody is chipping you, and we can all get back to hating each other in public together. Okay, that's my public address.
Wow, one more.
One lady said that her husband recently left her for a 29-year-old woman. And because I talk about marriage a little bit, and I did that joke and said that's not me. And I never understand that concept. There's no way I would ever do that. A younger woman, look, I'm telling you right now, my wife is just now at the back end of menopause. You think I want to go through that again with someone else? Not a chance in hell. No way. I am done tiptoeing around the house. It's all over. My thermostat is not set at Arctic blast every night. Come on. I finally got back a third of the bed that I had in the beginning.
Attaboy, yeah.
No way I want a younger woman. I'm sticking, baby. That's all there is to it. Oh, thank you for the applause on that one.
Hi, everybody. Hey, let's hear it for our friend Brad Tassell. That was some very funny material, wasn't it? And also informative. I saw Alice clapping at all the science he's espousing, and that's very good. Oh, it's very, very good. As we've mentioned a couple thousand times tonight, Brad and I put out a Halloween album back in 2019, and here's another little song that has not been. We've seen a couple things a few times repeated tonight, but here's something you haven't seen any of. This is a little song about witches.
Oh yeah.
The witch turned me into a newt.
I got better. The witch turned me into a frog. Ribbit, ribbit, croak.
The witch turned me into a cat.
Meow, meow.
The witch turned me into a dog.
Ruff, ruff, ruff. A witch has moved to my town. She cook a creepy brew and make you drink it all down.
Wasn't that fun? Oops, I was
Wasn't that
enjoying so much
beautiful?
I forgot to stop sharing.
That's okay. So, hey, something interesting about all the stuff on the Halloween album. Back when my daughter was in preschool, I wrote a lot of poems for Halloween, and the songs are all based on those poems. And they're poems I still do because they're in a book, and every year I teach a literacy class using that poetry with classes to read back for kids to read as we do them as little plays is what we do. And that's where all that came from. And that one is especially fun because kids gets to make all the animal sounds. And then I get to throw out things like, ferret, where people are like, what the hell's a ferret say? And then kids get mad at me. And so that leads me to say, people are like, what are you, an idiot? And here's what's funny too, is I'll start with like, what does a newt say? And I'll say to kids, okay, just who wants to tell me what a newt says? And they'll all raise their hand. I'll say, what does a newt say? And they'll say, I don't know. And I'll say, well, you can say anything. And they go, I don't know. Well, no, just make a sound. I don't know. What do you don't know? Just make any sound. No, I don't know. And it takes you forever because kids are stupid. Let's just admit it. Okay. But who's not stupid? Steve Goodie, when he always does his beautiful top 10 lists. And here is another one.
Yay, Steve.
Hi. I know what a newt said. A newt says, vote for me again. Let me have 400 terms in a row. All right. Another legacy top 10 list coming your way right now. We've been moving through the year, and this is one from November 12th, just a few weeks back. Top 10 COVID-19 Thanksgiving treats, because Thanksgiving was just a little bit different this year. So here's the top 10 COVID-19 Thanksgiving treats. Number 10, roast bat, which is good. You don't want to crock pot that. Number 9, socially distant green beans, 3 per plate. Number 8, pumpkin spice zoom.
Yeah.
Number 7, sweet solitude potatoes. It's better if I say it the other way. Sweet solitude potatoes. All right.
Yes.
Number 6, piquant visit grandma pie.
All right now.
Ooh.
Number 5, herd immunity TV dinner.
All right now.
Number 4, apple pie a la mask. Get yourself a big old straw, suck that thing down. Number 3, cranberry sauce right out of the can, because who really gives a crap at this point? Are you kidding me? Number 2, ham hoax.
Ah, that was good.
Number 1, COVID-19 Thanksgiving treat, non-conceding turkey.
Yay!
Yeah.
There you
Oh, that
have
was
it.
really good. That was very
Thank
good.
you. I'm glad
That was
you
very
enjoyed
good. I did. So actually, Steve, you know what a newt says?
What does the newt say?
Oh, you got cancer? I'll get another wife.
Ah, I get it. Ooh, dark.
Oh.
Yeah, he's right.
Dark but true. Hey, you know what? Follow that, Patty.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Benny.
What are you wearing now?
By the way, I'm in my pajamas. You can't really tell because
You've given up.
I haven't given up. They're elegant pajamas.
Patty,
Oh,
did
okay.
you zip up your pajamas in the back?
You do fit, by the way, and we'll discuss that later about our exercise regimen that I'm jealous that Brad does, actually. So we're doing another trivia question. What are we giving away for this trivia question?
We are giving away whatever Patty was wearing on our last show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if we have anybody left in here to give anything away too.
We've
Are
got
these
downloads
earrings? Are we
galore.
giving away earrings?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yes. Patty, I'd like you to give yourself that earring if you get the answer right to the question you're about to ask.
I'm so ready for
Yes.
this. My question, I had it written down. Oh, I have it. Actually, I was, because I always pay attention. How many green beans are on a socially distant plate, according
good
to
question.
top 10 list? You
Oh
just
my!
Yeah.
That was a first hour question because everybody's
just did that.
asleep right now.
I just did it. I just
you
did
just did it.
Alice said 3.
it.
Oh,
There's 3.
Yeah, she's right.
this reminds me, Patty, to ask you about something. Since you're a Chicago comic, have you been around long enough to have worked the comedy womb back in the day?
Yes,
I mean, you did. You worked the comedy womb.
I did.
Man, that is
So,
the toughest
this-
womb on birth.
Well, Steve, you didn't know the comedy.
Never
womb,
heard
did
of
you?
it, no.
Okay, so
I was
Ted
cesarean.
Holm owned 2 clubs. Ted Holm, a great comic. Matter of fact, Ted Holm was Holm and who was his partner? I can't remember. And they did the Tonight Show back in like '72. Well, he opened 2 clubs in Chicago. Who's on First and the Comedy Womb. And right now in the show is how I felt at the Comedy Womb, because at the Comedy Womb, it was the first place you had to do 3 sets a night and
Yep.
3 different 20-minute sets.
Oh my goodness.
You got paid $25 and you had to do 3. And by that 3rd set, you are struggling your butt off to actually do new material every night. And then Mark Schufeld, who I think just passed away, didn't he?
Yes.
He just passed away, greatest guy in the world, would be back there and he would say, "You suck," every time. No matter what you did.
He said different
You
things.
sucked.
He said different things than he did to me. So we'll
Well,
leave
of course
it
he
at
loved
that.
you.
We'll leave it.
Yeah.
At, but
Brad, if you had worn your Wonder Woman outfit, he would have said nice things to you.
That's true.
or he would have asked you to show you things under your Wonder Woman
Oh,
costume.
nice.
No.
Oh, did he? Was he doing that?
So one of the things that happened in the comedy room, moving on, but at the same club, there was another woman who was performing there who struggled during her set, and she was in the women's room and heard in the bathroom other women in the stall saying, "Oh my God, that woman was terrible. Sally was awful." And yeah, so that's I in my career at least escaped from having to hear people complain about my set in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. Well, and that was the first club too. What reminds me of this is the show would go till 1, 2 in the morning. I mean, because and he booked a thing. Did you ever do the all-nighter?
No.
So the all-nighter must have gone before he started comedy. It was a wrestling bar that was mostly wrestlers. 4 a.m. they would do a comedy show. Every Sunday night, you would do the womb, and then you would go there about 2 a.m. and you would sit there, and if they had people, you would do a show at 4 a.m. I went 4 times. It paid $75. Never did a show. There was never a person there, ever.
But did you show Mark your boobs? That's my question.
No, I'm so sorry that was a thing.
Oh, Patti,
That
it
hurts
was it was when we had Polaroids. He showed them your boobs.
That's true.
Reason that people are getting work besides me.
Yeah, it was the late 80s. We had boobs. So okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Patti, very much. Hi, Steve.
You ask, I will answer.
Oh, good. I have so many questions for later. But right now, speaking of questions and answers, here's a lady who will answer all your questions about the theme that she's about to sing about, and I don't know what it is, but it's going to be awesome. Please welcome Lori Hamilton, everybody.
Yay!
Yay, thank you. And I actually have I want to build on that. I once did a gig where a guy told a boob joke right before he was about to introduce me. And he's like, and now our next comic is a woman. And I got on stage and I said, Mike, we've had this discussion. Mike and I work together. And the other day, Mike was in a board meeting and he said to me, Lori, I'll give you $1 if you show me your boobs. And I'm like, Mike, that is a totally inappropriate amount. So yeah, shame for everyone. And Patti, I feel you. So this song, you may notice I'm wearing a sparkly sweater that's also green because here in New York, it's 2021 and it's so much calmer than it is on the East Coast. And it's like even my cats are fast asleep. So this is a song about the time that I made a New Year's resolution to meditate. But for those of you that know me at all, you know that I'm a little bit obsessive about doing things. I might go a little overboard. I might be a little like 2 speeds off and turbo.
No.
So this
Not you.
I know, it's shocking. It's the shock of the century. So this is a song that I wrote about me saying, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'll go to the library and I'll get books on meditation. I'll meditate and I'll do podcasts. I'll do podcasts and I'll watch Oprah and I'll do meditations and it'll be really calm. Do all the things right now. Do all the things right now. Hurry and rush and run and sprint on your way to enlightenment. Do all the things right now. Do all the things right now. Hurry and rush and run and sprint on your way to enlightenment. You're doing it wrong. Hurry and rush and run and sprint on your way to enlightenment. And I get to the last page of the last book, and it says the best meditation is to just breathe. Don't think. What? How am I supposed to do that? I heard something.
Yay.
That is the song about that. I don't recommend it, is what I'm saying. Good luck.
Lori Hamilton, everybody, let's hear it.
I was right.
Lori
She had
Hamilton.
answers.
Thank
She
you.
had answers.
The what?
Thank you, and thank you for having me on the show. As you can see, I have a second win, so I'm going to be obnoxious.
Yeah, I was going to say you are up. You are on the coffee or something, and that is fantastic.
I've had a lot of water tonight, is what I'm saying.
All right, so you're peeing right now as we speak.
I'm wearing Depends.
Oh, that's good.
When we have a
Over
4 o'clock show,
Yeah.
it depends.
It depends.
Let's do this for Hawaii in an hour.
Let's not and say we did.
Let's not. All right. I'm taking over. Hey, by the way, I want to go back to the comedy wound, Patti, for a second, because something happened. You knew Carla Felicia, of course. Yes, you're muted. But so Carla Felicia was one of the major comics in Chicago. Brilliant writer, hated going on stage.
Yeah.
Hated, always said she hated it. Also, and then got a Women of the Night special, and she was just the nicest, cutest little thing. And we worked together all the time in Chicago. And I was single at the time, not dating anybody, and I always had this big crush on Carla Felicia. And I was gonna ask her out. So one night at the Womb, I was ready to ask her out. I was like, this is it, tonight's the night. And as I was going to do that, it was Paul Gilmartin announced, because he was there that night, that they had just started dating. And that he had just started doing stand-up. And I went to college with Paul. He graduated like the year before me, and we hated each other. Just terrible hated each other. And they announced that night. And you know what? He did me a great favor, because there's no way in hell she would have ever gone out with me. So I think it was really good that happened. So thank you. And we became very good friends years later. But thank you to Carla. And she's a writer on Bob Loves Bashola. That show.
Head writer on Mike and Molly, and
She was head writer on Mike and Molly. Yep.
Yep. And
and I remember that she, because she'd always wanted to move to LA. She was a great stand-up, but always wanted to be a writer. And she got out there, and it took a while to get going, because Paul became famous. Paul was on Dinner and a Movie for many years, and then it switched, and then she started getting a ton of work and stuff like that. And I'm doing this.
And they're divorced. They're divorced.
Yes, so there you go. So, and I haven't talked to Carla in many years, but if I ever get a chance to, I will say hi. So, Patti, do you ever talk to her?
Well, did you hear me? They're divorced now.
I knew that. I don't want to bring that up.
Well,
Why, you think I got a chance?
I'm just saying.
Patti, Bob was asking, do you have her number?
She was okay with his success. Apparently, he was not okay with her success.
Is that? That's not what he didn't say that, but okay. Yeah, he just.
I mean,
I heard that he had a slight odor problem.
Ooh. Steve, you have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know what we're talking about.
No.
But I will say this, though. Speaking of famous people, I did interviews with Gary Arbuthnot, who is a world-famous flautist from all over the world. He's also, oddly enough, he's my agent for cruises. And he's the one who called me and told me I got fired from Oceana. But we did this. We did this interview.
Okay, we're back. It is New Year's in just a few minutes, so Happy New Year for you, although I've had New Year's now 4 times. So you've worked, done a lot of cruises in your time. Obviously, you worked for every cruise company from the highest to the even higher. You would never do a cheap cruise. And have you ever been scared for your life on a cruise? Like it was so rocky or so crazy that you thought, we're not coming back?
Once, a very, very long time ago, I think going through the Drake's Passage, funny enough, on the way to Antarctica. And it was pretty bad. I mean, I think it's the only time in my life where I've ever wondered if we tip over slightly more, are we coming back? You know, when you're in your cabin and you're looking directly at the water, you know, get on, and you're wondering, you know, please, can the ship tilt the other way just a little bit? That was probably the scariest. But then you talk to the captain and the officers later on, and they'll tell you, oh no, we still had 10, 15 more degrees we could have gone before we were even in the danger zone. But a bit like, I think, when you have turbulence on the plane, when you don't know what that really is, it makes you jumpy.
Yeah. So that's why we're going to finish with a sea-oriented Thank you, Gary Arbuthnot, everybody. Again, you go to his YouTube channel, Gary Arbuthnot. Am I saying your name right?
Gary Arbuthnot.
Arbuthnot.
Arbuthnot. And it's the same for anything, for YouTube, for Facebook, or actually even just on my website, GaryArbuthnot.com, and that will take you to every other social media channel you desire.
And when it all comes back, you can see him on Only the Best Cruises, where you can only see me on the cruises that Walmart people go to. All right. Thank you, Gary.
All right. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Wow. Arbuthnot. You have to ask very carefully. Is that how you pronounce it? He said, yes, it's Arbuthnot. Am I getting that right? Yes, absolutely. You're pronouncing it exactly correctly. Absolutely. Speaking of things that are hard to pronounce, the lovely Janet Hagmeyer Tassell had an idea for a song, and she bothered Brad and bothered me, and we actually put it together for our Christmas and Hanukkah CD, and here's a taste of that, the Rapping Rap.
You think you're done, but you ain't by half. You think those boxes is all there is to wrap. Those two boxes won't assemble themselves. No time to relax like the elf on the shelf. At least 50 parts go into that drone. Even the dog wants to open up a bone. Batteries go in half a dozen things. The trampoline man that came Sand Springs. You forgot the 9 gifts you hid in June. You can't put a bow on the psychedelic moon. You thought you were done, but you got no idea. Now get to work on the desk you bought from IKEA. Give to your mother.
And that's how they invented Christmas stockings, kids. Wasn't that delightful?
That was delightful, Steve. So funny thing about that song too is, yeah, Janet really was excited. I mean, she gets excited about stuff that she's comes up with sometimes. And in this case, she was right. We actually kind of weren't that into it at first. And then, but Steve, as she demanded he do, wrote the first part that we didn't hear, which is an amazing part. And then I wrote that part too. And you know, what is also interesting is, we should do all of our shows this late, Steve, because this is the first time we've done this show. I don't care how it's going.
This is what makes you such a powerhouse teammate, Brad.
That's right, a powerhouse teammate. Now that I found out,
drop of a hat to take a nap. Hey, also,
that's right.
What's really good about the Rapping Rap is that we worked really hard on it, and then Janet was really pleased that she got a credit on an album. And Alice has the album. You can see her name in there. And she found that out. She saw her name in the print just as we found out that somebody did the same idea of a song 30 years ago.
That's in 1990. Well, and what's funny is my wife has probably 37 or 38 articles in journals. She's got 12 books. She's a math professor. And she put this in her Vita with it. I really, she's excited about this.
So very sad.
So very, very sad. It's just amazing. But she did, and that's great. So, okay. Hey, you know what time it is? It's time to go back to her. She's right here. Talk to us.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Woo. Hello, everybody. It's time for another trivia question. And we are giving away what, my friends?
We are giving away a full set of encyclopedias from 1976.
Hey!
Yeah, Prince. That's perfect.
Okay, so Alice wins because she already has it. We don't have to bother.
Steve, I sure hope you're keeping track of this.
I am. I got it.
Okay, good.
Alice
I'm
wins
not.
everything.
So, Alice, you win everything. But, Alice, tell us, what ocean lines did Brad just say he was fired from at the beginning of that interview with Gary?
Anybody know?
The womb.
Anybody know? Type it in if you know. I don't think this is going to happen.
You threw it away, but I caught it. Anyone?
I wish I could look on Facebook to see if anybody's putting it on there. So nope, nobody's got it.
You actually.
I can win this one.
By the way, when you Google this cruise line, by the way, it says that they go to exotic locations. Is that accurate, Brad?
This is we went to Cuba. We did Cuba. They do 130-day world cruises that they just go everywhere in the world because they can go to small ports.
Yes,
the ships only seat.
They leave out of Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, it's amazing. right up the Erie Canal. But they only have 600 passengers, so they can go into the smallest little ports. I did one that this doesn't seem that great, but up through from Montreal, up through Halifax, up through all through those little bitty towns, Quebec City and stuff in Canada. Plus they go all over the world. They really do. I've sneezed. Excuse me.
From their site, each of them is an invitation, God bless you, to discover your next travel story. and reignite your passions.
I think I got
Steve,
it.
that's close. It's Oceana. Lori Hamilton.
Ah.
Oceana.
Later.
Oceana. So, okay.
Yeah,
So good.
win encyclopedia.
Yay!
Awesome.
We nearly got to this point. Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
Well,
So,
you know what?
by the way, hey, here we've got, ladies and gentlemen, what's Patty?
Why were you fired from Oceana?
Oh, you really want to know?
I
So,
did.
Oceana, I was not fired from Oceana. They have a sister line called Regent. I was hired to do more edgy stuff, to do a PG-13 show. So Oceana was okay. I did fine. Then I went to Regent, which is the really highest level of cruising money-wise. I had a bathtub in my cabin, balcony cabin. That was the lowest cabin you could get. So I had great shows on Regent. You also had to spend all your dinners with passengers. They loved me. So I get home, right? I get a call from Gary, my agent. He goes, "How'd it go?" Well, as you know, in show business, if they ask you how it went, it didn't go freaking good. So I told him, hey, cruise director loved me. Shows were really good. Passengers really enjoyed me. And whatever else. And he goes, that's what they said, and you're fired, and you'll never work for them again. I said, why? He goes, the cruise director thought you did a great job. Passengers, the dinners, everything. We had 4 elderly people offended by your second show. You will never work for this cruise line again. 4 elderly, that's how rich they are. 4 elderly people.
Wow.
On those kinds of cruise lines, if they don't like you, you don't get to exist. They don't care if everybody else likes you. If 4 people with enough money that have been on that cruise enough will call the executives and say, that son of a gun better never, ever be on that ship again.
Whoa.
And that's what happens.
It's kind of like our economy.
Yeah,
What have
they
we
still
learned?
love me. The booker wants me in, but
You had
because
just thrown 4 elderly people overboard.
that's right.
If only
Hey,
COVID
Steve,
had come
I'm going to
out.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is we're supposed to have Pam Belford on?
No,
is
she can't
here and
make
ready?
it. She can't make it, but we've got a special thing that she wanted us to do, and she's going to watch
Oh,
this
okay.
later.
Well, let me go to you then.
Our good friend, whose name is Spaff, got sick to death of the song The 12 Days of Christmas. So he rewrote it, making everything in the song unrepeated. There's no repetition at all in this song, and it's just awesome. And we'll all sing along together. And Brad, you're doing the 5s, right?
Do I know what they are?
I'll do the 5s. The first one's Golden Girls. Do that one, okay?
Yeah, I know that one. I'll do it. Go ahead.
On the
I love
first
the
Christmas
song.
sweater my true love gave to me was the leg lamp from Christmas Story. On the second Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 2 monster trucks and Godzilla fighting Bruce Lee. On the third Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 3 little pigs, 2 magic mics, and a dog watching cops on TV. On the fourth Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 4 beetle heads, 3 blind mice, 2 horny toads, and a sloth in a Lamborghini. On the fifth Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were
5 golden girls.
very nice. Wait, 5,
5.
4 naked Smurfs, 3 amigos, 2 cans of Spam, and a drink holder stretched to my knee. On the sixth Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 6 Mueller convictions, 5 jingle balls, 4 Kim Jong-uns, 3 drunk elves, 2 crack nuts, and a goat with a hipster goatee. Page 2. On the seventh Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 7 dwarfs hot tubbing, 6 strips of bacon, 5 Chandler Bings, 4 wiener dogs, 3 Sith Lords, 2 water bongs, and a Christmas vacation RV. On the eighth Christmas sweater. Oh, Bradley. On the 8th Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 8-legged lobsters, 7 colored rainbows, 6 packs of Guinness, 5 ding-a-lings, 4 parrot turds, 3 stooges, 2-headed cows, and an avatar babe in 3D. On the 9th Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 9 Supreme Court judges, 8 naughty snowmen, 7 cats with lasers, 6 cups for beer pong, 5 gold G-strings, 4 lava lamps, 3 canned hams, 2 Vulcan ears, and Bo Duke in the General Lee. On the 10th Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 10 pounds of tinsel, 9 sprigs of holly, 8 bags of glitter, 7 chains of popcorn, 6 rolls of ribbon, 5 ho-ho-hos, 4 flying squirrels, 3 Care Bears, 2 kissing sharks, and a purple box full of Plan B. page 3. On the 11th Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were 11 strippers stripping, 10 bones for 10 pins for bowling, 9 babies dancing, 8 reindeers mating, 7 llamas pooping, 6 wrestlers sweating, 5 golden retrievers, 4 letter words, 3 Trump wives, 2 camel toes, and Beyonce twerking Jay-Z.
Ooh.
Here we go. On the 12th Christmas sweater my true love gave to me were... This is all on one sweater, I'd like to point out. 12 Pee Wee Hermans, 11 Pez dispensers, 10 Joke Commandments, 9 Santa's mooning, 8 zombies eating, 7 11 Slurpees, 6 Big Lebowski's, 5 strands of lights, which gave me 4 muscle sprains, 3 slip discs, 2 pulled groins. Now I need physical therapy.
Wow, Steve Goodie, everybody. Let's hear it.
Woo!
Wow. Hi, everybody. I've given up.
Patty Melt.
I know. We're going to do that in a second. We're going to Patty Melt. Hey, if you're still out there watching, we have 3 minutes till midnight. We're going to do a Patty Melt real quick. But if you get a chance, if you're still out there, go to virtualcomedyshow.com and put donate to the show. And you can get us all a new mattress is what we'll need. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, for a quick Patty Melt, we've got 3 minutes. Go ahead, Patty, and melt us.
Before I start, Brad, did you say you go running in the woods? Is that?
Yeah, all the time. That's
the
all I do.
creepiest way he could think of to work out.
I do 2 things right now. I do trail running and I swim, but the gym is closed. The university gym is closed until January 4th. But no, all trail running. I don't run anywhere else but trails.
So I don't like to run. Every time I try to go running, I just wonder when I can start stopping. That's what I do. I've tried walking. The problem with walking is it's not hard. So I lose track of how far I've gone. It's embarrassing to call my husband and say, hey, I have to pee. I don't know how far I've gone from home. I wish I could work out. I wish that I could run. And by the way, Brad, you also brought up something at the beginning when you were talking about breast pumps. And I know you didn't want to set the tone, but there it is.
Yay.
I breastfed both my kids. And I have to say, breast pumps did not do it for me. I needed a shot back. And here's the thing about breastfeeding is that it's wonderful. I love that I was able to do that for my children. But at the same time, my cats would not stop following me around the house. They were just waiting for a leak to happen. Meow, meow, just waiting for it. And the other thing is, men cannot get over it because they're like, so are you bigger now? Were you bigger before? And I'm like, I'm going to stop you there because I'm longer. I went from a 34C to a 38 long. This is late, so I'm going for it.
Wow.
I know. So
we're getting answers all over the place.
What I like is that I said something that led you into a bit.
I wrote things down. Hold on.
1 minute.
We have 1 minute till midnight.
All right. So, you know what? Let's go back to one thing left. I just want to say, we're going into the new year. We're going to have a new president. And I'm so grateful that we've all been in this together. And as a historian, I have a degree in history and I have a passion for our past. And I have resented that Trump has called Republicans the party of Lincoln. And they don't want to take down any of the Confederate statues. So if the logic is that Republicans were also the party of Lincoln, then the opposite of that has to be that Robert E. Lee and all the other Confederate soldiers were Democrats. You know what? I'm fine with that. If you want to go that way, take it all down. Take it all down.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
That's right.
10 seconds.
Go.
10,
10,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year! Oh, man. Yay! And now, I'm going to try this on the mandolin. Are we ready? You ready? Here we go.
We're ready.
I'm older than I thought I'd be last year around this time. I've aged a decade just this week because the douche would not resign. I'll get my vaccination soon. I'll wait my turn in line. I hope we sing another tune next year around this time. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Hey, Happy New Year. Thank you, Lori Hamilton. Thank you. Let me come up for the thank yous in my chair, which I don't seem to move in. So I want to thank you, Lori Hamilton. I want to thank you, Patti Vasquez. I want to thank you, Zoe. It is now literally 8 a.m. Time to get up. Thank you, Janet, who might be asleep. Thank you, Alice, for all your support. Thank you, Steve Goodie, especially for being a great partner, doing an amazing job, and 90% of the work. Thank you, all of our friends out there. Happy New Year. We'll see you next week with a brand new show, and we'll lead Patti into another bit she has. Lori, we're going to need you at least 20 Thursdays this year, too. So other than that,
Thank you so much.
Steve, what else do you have to say?
Let's do another hour.
No.
I'm just kidding. We're going to do the Thursday song, but since it's now Friday, it's the Friday song.
Is it?
A very merry Friday. It's a special time of week when Friday bells are pealing and life no longer seems so bleak. Let's open up our presents and carve our Friday goose and wait for Father Friday to arrive upon his moose. You know, we tried to incorporate all the wonderful family traditions that people associate with Friday. Friday
comes but once a week, but do not shed a tear, 'cause there are more than 50
Fridays
packed in every year, and every single one of them is full of mirth and glee. So stuff your face and break some wind and join the revelry. Have a very merry
Friday.
Put on your orange fez and decorate the
Friday
tree with milk bone, spam, and pez. Once you've curled your mustache and donned your
Friday
clothes, I'll catch you 'neath the mistletoe and punch you in the nose. Merry Friday.